Chapter 16. Offences and Penalties. '89. Punishment for contravention of provisions of Act or rules or regulations made thereunder. Any person who contravenes any of the provisions of this Act or of any rule made thereunder shall for first contravention be punishable with fine which may extend to 10,000 rupees, and for any subsequent contravention with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees. 90. Offences by companies. When an offence under this Act has been committed by a company, every person who at the time the offence was committed was in charge of and was responsible to the company for the conduct of the business of the company, as well as the company shall be deemed to be guilty of the offence and shall be liable to be proceeded against and punished accordingly, provided that nothing contained in this subsection shall render any such person liable to any punishment provided in this Act, if he proves that the offence was committed without his knowledge, or that he had exercised all due diligence to prevent the commission of such offence. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, where an offence under this Act has been committed by a company, and it is proved that the offence has been committed with the consent or connivance of, or is attributable to any neglect on the part of any director, manager, secretary, or other officer of the company, such director, manager, secretary, or other officer shall also be deemed to be guilty of that offence and shall be liable to be proceeded against and punished accordingly. Explanation for the purposes of this section. Company means any body corporate and includes a firm or other association of individuals, and director in relation to a firm means a partner in the firm. '91. Punishment for fraudulently availing any benefit meant for persons with benchmark disabilities. Whoever fraudulently avails or attempts to avail any benefit meant for persons with benchmark disabilities shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine which may extend to 1 lakh rupees, or with both. 92. Punishment for offences of atrocities. Whoever intentionally insults or intimidates with intent to humiliate a person with disability in any place within public view, assaults or uses force to any person with disability with intent to dishonor him or outrage the modesty of a woman with disability, Having the actual charge or control over a person with disability voluntarily or knowingly denies food or fluids to him or her. Being in a position to dominate the will of a child or woman with disability and uses that position to exploit her sexually. Voluntarily injures, damages, or interferes with the use of any limb or sense or any supporting device of a person with disability. Performs, conducts, or directs any medical procedure to be performed on a woman with disability which leads to or is likely to lead to termination of pregnancy without her express consent, except in cases where medical procedure for termination of pregnancy is done in severe cases of disability and with the opinion of a registered medical practitioner and also with the consent of the guardian of the woman with disability. Shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months but which may extend to 5 years and with fine. 93. Punishment for failure to furnish information. Whoever fails to produce any book, account, or other documents or to furnish any statement, information, or particulars which under this Act or any order or direction made or given thereunder is duty-bound to produce or furnish or to answer any question put in pursuance of the provisions of this Act or of any order or direction made or given thereunder shall be punishable with fine which may extend to 25,000 rupees in respect of each offence, and in case of continued failure or refusal, with further fine which may extend to 1,000 rupees for each day of continued failure or refusal after the date of original order imposing punishment or fine. 94. Previous sanction of appropriate government. No court shall take cognizance of an offence alleged to have been committed by an employee of the appropriate government under this chapter, except with the previous sanction of the appropriate government or a complaint is filed by an officer authorized by it in this behalf. 95. Alternative punishments. Where an act or omission constitutes an offence punishable under this Act and also under any other central or state act, then notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being in force, the offender found guilty of such offence shall be liable to punishment only under such act as provides for punishment which is greater in degree.